Hello there, and welcome to the Manchester United versus Liverpool preview. Now, why didn't I do a review of the Burnley game? Because I was tired, I was annoyed, I was pretty angry, and I just didn't want to. Because what was there really to analyse apart from we were crap and didn't do anything, which has pretty much been the theme of our last couple of games anyway. So if you wanted a review of the Burnley game, you've just had it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Man United game. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions about it as well. I'm going to try and keep this one a little bit shorter because I don't think there's really going to be a great deal to talk about. Maybe when we get into next week, we can start looking at Klopp's comments about transfers and stuff like that. But that's not for this video. It won't be for the review of this video either or anything like that. No, we'll tackle some other things another time. But we're going to get into this one. As I said, we come up against Manchester United at Old Trafford, and I don't know. I don't really know what to expect from this team and from this game. I'll give you my thoughts and opinions about the FA Cup just in general straight away. And I think it keeps in common theme with everything I've said about the FA Cup since I started this channel. Regardless of where we are in the league, whether we were top of the league, whether we're inside top four, outside top four in the league, whatever. And maybe it is a generational thing. I could not give less of a care about the FA Cup. I really don't. Now, people will say, but it's Manchester United. We need to go out there and beat Manchester United or be competitive against Manchester United. I still don't care. Take away the team who we're coming up against. If we're coming up against someone else, we're coming up against a West Ham, we're coming up against a Blackpool, coming up against a Plymouth Argyle or something like that, I would still say I don't care. What I mean by that as well is I'd actually much rather we get knocked out. And that sounds so negative and so presumptuous on the fact that we will get knocked out by Man United, who are banging form. They won their last game. I can't remember who it was against, but I think it was 2-1. Fulham, I think it was. I think Pogba won the game for them. They're playing better than us at the moment, and they will probably want to go out there and win some silverware, get the first trophy or a trophy under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's belt. That's what they'll want to do. And it's much more, for them, this is more important, I would say. Not that they're not doing well, and not that they couldn't go on and win the league or anything like that. God forbid, I would hate that to happen, but it could happen. But they would really want to get a trophy, an FA Cup or something like that under his belt. And why not? That's why it would be more important. For us, other teams around us have had dips in form at the start of the season. Man City didn't start the season very well. Man United themselves didn't start the season very well. Chelsea started the season on fire. Leicester have been probably the most consistent team, having been like fairly, up there for the majority of the season. And now I think they're, what's that, second or something like that? Whatever it might be. Anyway, I digress. We're having our dip at a time when we used to always have a dip. January would come round and Liverpool have a dip. Have a dip in form. I remember there was one season we had like 8 games in January and we won 1 or something like that. That might have been 2 to 3 seasons ago, whatever it might be. So it's kind of like going back to type. It doesn't surprise me. Like, we've been magnificent the last couple of seasons. You do a drop off in performances every now and again. It happens to every single team. No team is immune to having a drop in form. Players missing what look like really good opportunities here, there, and everywhere, and that is literally what seems to be happening for us right now. There's a lot of different shouts that are being made for this game. A lot of people think that we should be going full strength and really go hammer and tong for this game. For me, that's a mistake, going hammer and tong and full strength for this team, for this game, because it's the FA Cup, it's not a league game, and we're much more in trouble in the Premier League than we are in the FA Cup. The FA Cup doesn't guarantee you anything. What, Europa League or anything like that? It's not anything that I would want to be concerned about, and not a competition I want us to be in next year, which is why I want us to prioritise the league. I would even take getting knocked out of the Champions League at this point, because we don't drop down to the Europa League this season, and we then have much more of a focus on the Premier League and hitting and achieving top 4. If we get anything above that, fantastic. Otherwise, I don't care. Premier League is where it's at for me. So for me, this is what I'm going for lineup wise. Whether people think it's negative or I'm being negative or anything like that, that is entirely up to you guys. but I'm just giving you my honest thoughts and opinions about what I feel we should be doing. Now, some of these players' positions are a little bit in the wrong place. Henderson should be on the right-hand side, Thiago central, Jones on the left, and Fabinho on the left side of centre-back as well. But you get the gist of what I'm going for here. On paper, this could still be a good lineup. Depending on what Man United are going to put out, I'm anticipating they're going to put out a pretty damn strong lineup. Probably the strongest that they could put out. Whether that means they go with an Edinson Cavani, Rashford, Martial, Pogba, all these sorts, I think that they will want to do that. They're playing at home, they're playing in the FA Cup, and they will want to progress in this competition. They will want to beat us after they put in what was probably a lacklustre performance that we didn't take advantage of in the Premier League. Now this, for me, I'm not dropping Mane for anything other than I think we just need something different. Now, you could put Mane where Salah is. Both of them are performing pretty much the same at the moment, which isn't very, very good. What it does mean for me, a lot of people are bringing, in predicted lineups, they're bringing Firmino and Salah, and Mane's dropped and Minamino's taking that place on the left-hand side. Firmino doesn't make it into my starting 11 at all, and he wouldn't be necessarily one of the players I would bring in from the bench. And that's really harsh. It is really harsh, but I can only go by accumulative performances, and I'm not impressed with what Firmino's given us at the moment. Not that he has to impress me, because he wouldn't know who I am if he had to pick me out of a lineup. But at the end of the day, we need to be picking up results in the Premier League. I think that this could be a good, exciting team. I still think that we'd be able to control the game with this midfield, especially. I think having Nat Phillips and Fabinho at centre-back is something I'm crying out for in the Premier League that I wish we would do. I wish we would put Nat Phillips in at centre-back and have that confidence in him instead of having to drop Henderson into centre-back when we miss so much when Henderson's not playing. Now, obviously, this banks a lot on whether Henderson's actually going to be able to play because he had a groin issue. If not, then you'd put Gini Wijnaldum in. Or you'd put maybe James Milner would go in where Henderson is as well. It depends entirely on that. Trent Alexander-Arnold in my lineup gets a rest. Nico Williams could be very, very good. I think he's got the pace to trouble them up and down the wings and stuff like that, and is getting better defensively when he's had minutes. Tsimikas, we've barely seen him, but Robertson barely ever gets a rest. So if Tsimikas is fit and ready to go, which apparently he is, he's in. Give him a go. Let's see what he's got. Kelleher in goal. He's been good when he's played for us. In fact, he's been pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I'm going to go that far. Pretty damn good. So I'd like to see Kelleher in there. Thiago, if it's going to be Henderson, maybe Gini Wijnaldum, whoever, James Milner. Curtis Jones, let's get him back in here. He's played some good games for us. He's made some mistakes for us. He's a young lad. Let's give him some more minutes. Shaqiri, Salah and Minamino up front for me. It's an exciting front three. It's a front three that haven't played together before, but I don't care because that's pretty much how most of our season's gone anyway. So let's get these guys playing together a bit more, get a bit more flexibility. Let's see what Minamino can offer us in a forward role. Let's see what Shaqiri can offer us in a forward role. He's been good in midfield, don't get me wrong, but I want to see what he's going to give us from that right-hand side. And Salah up front, we get our highest goal scorer closest to the net as possible, to the point hopefully where he doesn't miss. And that is literally the biggest thing for Liverpool, is we're still creating chances, still holding possession, but against Burnley we just looked so devoid of how to actually put it in the back of the net. It's like literally as soon as they got in front of goal they looked at it and just went, what is that? And what am I doing with this? The ball. What do I do with this? It's literally like they stood in front of goal and just looked at the ball in the net and just went, I don't know how you two are related. Like, how do I put this in the back of there? I don't know. Mane, what am I doing with this? I don't know. Like, that's kind of like what it is in front of goal. Klopp pretty much nailed it hit the nail on the head when he said 90% of our play isn't too bad, really. He said it was pretty good. I'm going to say it's not too bad. I'm not going to be entirely over the top with it and say, we're playing great. Up until the net, we're not, really. Some of our build-up play in the final third is a little bit reminiscent of Arsenal just into the 2010s. where they would like hold possession, pass the ball around the box and stuff, and we all used, well, not back then, couldn't take the mick out of it because we had Roy Hodgson in charge of us, which was just embarrassing at the time. But no, I think that if anything, if we get a result with this team, wow, I think that would be quite something. It's still a good competitive team. It's not like I'm saying throw all the kids out there and like against Manchester United at Old Trafford in an FA Cup game. It's not that at all. But I think it gives some vital rest to some players because while Klopp turns around and says that these guys are fatigued, I don't. He no, he says that they're not fatigued. I think they look a little bit burnt out, whether it's up here mentally, the confidence issues or something like that. When it comes to actually putting the goal, putting the ball in the back of the net and all that sort of stuff. The fact that we've gone over 400 minutes without a goal is shocking. Like we literally did just blast our collective load out all over Crystal Palace, and since then scored against West Brom, and that's it. Like it's just, and I know you could say against Aston Villa, but that was against like that was against their primary school team. So I mean, it doesn't really count in my opinion. What am I looking for? Honestly, what I'm looking for out of this one is maybe a performance, but I don't care if we win or lose. I really don't. If I'm being totally honest with you, I do think that Liverpool are going to go out in this game. I think that we are going to lose. Maybe score. I don't know. I have no confidence in us scoring. I could just see that United will sit back. We'll have to try and break them down. They might even take a little bit of a Burnley, but they've got better quality players on the break, and they could hit us with a Rashford, a Martial, whoever they've got going forward. If they want to rotate, they could go with Dan James, someone who's got ridiculous pace, and with an not inexperienced, but an unfamiliar backline playing together, it might not work. You could get him behind us, probably at ease, and Kelleher in goal. Not saying he's a bad goalkeeper, but you get one-on-one with someone, most likely it's going to be the attacker that comes off the best. So, as bad as it sounds to say, I don't think Liverpool are going to win this one. For me, I'm genuinely not bothered. Let's go out there, watch the game, see what happens. If we get a result, fine, we move on to whoever we're going to move on to. I can't remember who we've got in the other round draw. I know they did it, but I genuinely can't remember. Or we go out and we have less games later on in the season. And that's kind of the positive I'm taking from that if we do get knocked out in this game. That is the positive that I'm taking, is that we have less games, less fixture congestion, and maybe a little bit more time to actually get some rest into our players, get some players back from injury, have players injured less, and all that sort of stuff. And then we can hopefully solidify ourselves in top four at least. But that's all I'm aiming for at the moment. I know it's not the most positive video of all time in terms of a football preview. I'm just giving you what my own thoughts are. I can't lie when it comes to sort of stuff. I can't like feign excitement and say, yeah, we're going to go out there and smash Man United. There's a good chance that we might get beat by these guys. And if they're on form, they might do us in. That's just how it is. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you later.